Thank you so much, Province, for joining today. Please pray for me so that the right words come at the right time from my mouth, in the right spirit and in the right mood, so that I can say something of value. Seeking your blessings, I would like to start with invocation. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
O my Lord, the all-pervading of personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Narayanam namaskritam naram cheva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudire. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavati sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki. By regular attendance in the classes of the Bhagavatam, and by rendering of the service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. And the loving service unto the personality of Godhead, whose praise with transcendental songs is established as irrevocable fact. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual 8, chapter 3, text 30. 8, chapter 3, text 30. And yeah, we all know like what's happening, the story of Gajendra. I think everyone is familiar with this story, and now he's offering his prayers onto the Supreme Lord. Most of you might have seen this picture where Gajendra is holding a lotus. An elephant is holding a lotus. Why? Because crocodile has caught his leg. And now that elephant is Gajendra, and he's offering his prayers to Vishnu. And what happens? Vishnu shows up. But first we're going to read what are his prayers and how he is glorifying the Lord. Well, in today's chapter, obviously we're going to first read about what is mentioned by Srila Prabhupada. And then there's a wonderful concept that Gajendra is saying, O Paramatma, and we'll read it in the purport, that please just save me. He was not knowing who Paramatma is. He just offered his obeisances and offered that lotus to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And what happened? Vishnu, Krishna in form of Vishnu, he showed up. And what he did? Chopped off the head of that crocodile, right? So that shows, I mean, he just called Paramatma. He never called any demigod or something. He just called, oh Supreme, please shows up. And that's what we're going to read, that the Supreme is Krishna. Although there are a lot of demigods, but they're all the servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We read 10 defenses every Thursday. 10 defenses. So what is the second defense? Okay, 10 offenses. I know. Not this one. 10 defenses. Okay, 10 offenses. The second one. About Lord Shiva, Brahma. Yeah. To consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva, Brahma, equal or independent of the name of Vishnu. So those are the glories. Yeah, perfect. Now we'll just start with our class. Shloka. Yeah, this is the photo I was talking about. It's looking so nice in my laptop. I don't know why it's like...
It's okay, it's because we speak speed.
Yeah, okay. So we'll start with the verse. Shri Shukha Uvacha.
Shri Shukha Uvacha.
Okay, let me get the meter. एवं गजेन्द्रा उपवर्णिता निर्विशेषम् ब्रह्मादि विविधा लिङ्गभेदभिमनः नैते यदोप्सापुर्निखिलात्मक्तवत् तत्राखिलामारमायो हरि अभिरासे श्रीशुक उवाच
एवं गजेन्द्रम् उपवर्णिता निर्विशेषम्
एवं गजेन्द्र उपवर्णिता निर्वेशम्
नायते यदोपासरूपुर निखिलात्मकात्व
तत्राखिलामारमाय हरि अभिरासे
एवं गजेन्द्रामुपवर्णिता निर्विशेषम्
नैते यशोपचार पूर्णिखिलात्मकम् तत्राखिलामरामयो हरिरविराशत् एवं गजेन्द्रम् उपवर्णिता निर्विशेषम् ब्रह्मादयो विविधलिङ्गभिमानः नैते दोषान्निखिलात्मकात्वात् नित्यानंद प्रभु
तत्राखिलामार्मयो हरिरविरसे
श्री सुख उवाच एवं गजेन्द्र उपवर्णिता निर्विशेषम् सेकंड लाइन
ब्रह्मादयो विविध लिङ्गाभिमनः
ब्रह्मादयो विविधलिङ्गाभिमानः नैते तत्राखिलामार्मयो हरिरविरासत Anonyms, please repeat after me. Shri Shuka Uvacha. Shri Sukadeva Goswami said, Evam in this way. Gajendram onto king of the elephants. Gajendra Upavarnita, whose descriptions Nirvishesham, not directed to any particular person, but to the Supreme, although he did not know who the Supreme is. Brahma are the demigods, beginning with Brahma, Shiva, Indra, and Chandra. Vividha, varieties. Linga Vida, with separate forms. Abhimanaha, considering themselves separate. Authorities. Na, not. Ete, all of them. Yada, when. Upasarpur, approached. Nikhila, Nikhil Atmakatvat. Because the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the super soul of everyone. Tatra, there, Akhila, of the universe, Amar Maya, consisting of demigods who are only external parts of the body. Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can take away everything. Avirasat, appeared before the elephant. Translation, let's do it together. Sri Sukadev Goswami continued. When the king of elephants was describing the supreme authority without mentioning any particular person, he did not invoke the demigods, headed by Lord Brahma, Shiva, Indra, and Chandra. Thus, none of them approached him. However, because Lord Hari is the super soul, Purushottama, the personality of Godhead, he appeared before Gajendra. Want to read the perfect? Siyama? Is it visible?
From the description of Gajendra, he apparently was aiming at the supreme authority, although he did not know who the supreme authority is. He conjectured, there is a supreme authority who is above everything. Under the circumstances, the Lord's various expansions, such as Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Chandra, and Indra, all thought, Gajendra is not asking our help, he's asking the help of the Supreme, who is above all of us. As Gajendra has described, the Supreme Lord has various parts and parcels, including the demigods, human beings, and animals, all covered by separate forms. Although the demigods are in charge of maintaining different aspects of the universe, Gajendra thought that they were unable to rescue him. Harim vina neva mrityam karanti. No one can rescue anyone from the dangers of birth, death, old age, and disease. It is only the Supreme Personality of Godhead who can rescue one from the dangers of material existence. Therefore, an intelligent person, to get free from this dangerous existence, approaches the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not any demigod, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7:20. Those who are unintelligent approach the various demigods for temporary material benefits. Actually, however, these demigods do not rescue the living entity from the dangers of material existence. Like other living entities, the demigods are merely external parts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's transcendental body. As stated in the Vedic mantras, Sa Atma Ajani Anya Devata. Within the body is the Atma, the soul, whereas the various parts of the body, like the hands and legs, are external. Similarly, the Atma of the entire cosmic manifestation is Narayan. Lord Vishnu and all the demigods, human beings, and other living entities are parts of his body.
It may also be concluded that since the tree lives on the strength of its roots, and when the root is nourished with water, all the parts of the tree are nourished. One should worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is original root of everything. Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very difficult to approach, he is very near to us because he lives within our heart. As soon as the Lord understands that one is seeking his favor by fully surrendering, naturally he immediately takes action. Therefore, although the demigods did not come to the aid of Gajendra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead immediately appeared before him because of his fervent prayer. This does not mean that the demigods were angry with Gajendra, for actually, when Lord Vishnu is worshipped, all the other demigods are also worshipped. Yasmin Tushti Jagat Tushtam. If the Supreme Personality of Godhead is satisfied, everyone is satisfied. As pouring water on the roots of the tree energizes the trunk, branches, twigs, and everything else, and as supplying food to the stomach enlivens the senses and limbs of body, so simply by worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead through devotional service, automatically satisfies the demigods, who are parts of that Supreme Personality. Bhagavatam 4:31-40. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead is worshipped, all the demigods are satisfied.
Okay, sorry. So we're done. Srila Prabhupada ki? Yeah. So I think Prabhupada has already mentioned a lot of things in this further. I don't have to add a lot of things, but still I want to mention and highlight few of the parts which I felt important. First, Prabhupada mentioned that, as I was stating, he called Gajendra the Supreme Personality of Godhead without even knowing who he is. Now anybody could have appeared. Brahma, not Vishnu appeared, but Indra, Shiva, Chandra, right? Anyone, we read for. But why Vishnu appeared? Because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's so simple, like, let's say I want keys of, like, I want bunch of keys and I'm calling Venkatesh, Venkatesh, Venkatesh. Nityananda is not going to come up. Why are you calling my name? Right? Obviously, Venkatesh is going to come and say, like, yeah, I am Venkatesh. Here are the keys. So that Prabhupada here wanted to state that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he said about worshipping the demigods. What did he say? What do you remember from the purport?
When you water the roots of the plant, and the plant is in these kind of automatically.
Yeah, he's saying that. We just simply have to worship Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Watering the root of the plant. Now, sometimes we have to just water the leaves when it comes to small plants, but 90% if you just water the root, it's more than enough for the plant. And that is the main part which has to be given water. Prabhupada also mentions, actually there's a verse in Bhagavad Gita, who knows? Okay, but Krishna is saying that for those who are worshipping demigods, they are worshipping me only. But see. I don't have the verse, I forgot to mention it, I don't know. Yeah. So Krishna is saying that those who are worshipping all the demigods, they are actually worshipping me. Right? But they are doing it indirectly or in a wrong way. Why? Now let's say you have to worship Srila Prabhupada, we do arti, right? Now, Prabhupada also mentions here another example of a body and his hands. I don't know he mentioned here, but in his lecture. So he's saying that body and hand is one. But if we cut the hand, it's actually kind of similar to what we read in which book? Nectar of Insertion. That they're similar. Body and hand is one, but what if I just cut my hand? Now hand is still there, but he's not me, right? He's not my whole body. So that is what Prabhupada is saying about demigods, that we should try to worshipping. I remember, I think it was Shrutikirti Prabhu who was saying this, that Prabhupada used to say this, that I am the only one here who's trying to make the whole theory false. Like these people think that God is this thing, or God is Brahma, God is Vishnu, God is light. I'm here. I'm boldly trying to make them wrong. Prabhupada said that clearly. Does anybody have any questions why we should not worship demigods? Or why should we worship Krishna only? No. Well, in that case, oh yes.
Demigods are worshipped because of material motivation, and with Krishna we serve him, and that's called bhakti and devotion.
True that. Yeah. It's wonderful. He said that demigods are usually worshipped for material desires. But actually, if you serve them properly, and if you do, what do we say? A hetu ki bhakti for them, they then show their nishkapat. So, I heard it in lecture of Amog Leela Prabhu. Not the Amog Leela Prabhu from Canada, Prabhupada disciple, but the Amog Leela Prabhu, who is disciple of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. So he said, then the demigods, they show their nishkapat kripa, or causeless mercy, and they just show you the path to go to Krishna consciousness. We have a lot of examples. Like today, most of the ISKCON, and most of the people in ISKCON, especially in India, they were, before coming to Krishna consciousness, they were worshippers of Lord Shiva. And it's not like we should never worship Lord Shiva, but we should worship him as the devotee of Lord. Yeah, Venkatesh. Venkatesh is an example. He's a wonderful devotee, and he was more inclined towards Lord Shiva before. And then Lord Shiva, he showed him the way to Krishna. With me, for me, it was Goddess Durga. For Mona, what was you? Huh? Shiva. Mona is an example too. Lord Shiva, right? So I'm sure we all might, right? Nityananda? Gauranga. He's clear. It's not like we should never worship them. We should worship them as devotees of Lord. Even whenever we are offering prasadam to them, we should offer Krishna prasad to them first and then take it. Because they are devotees of Lord. And what is our mood?
Serve the devotees.
Yeah, serve the devotees. With that note, I'll start with my thing now. It's 8. Question time. So what is special about today?
It's appearance day of Srila Gopal Goswami
Yes.
and disappearance day of Srila Ramchandra Kaviraj and appearance day of Harinam.
Okay. Yeah. So today is the appearance day of Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami ki. And today happens to be the disappearance day of Srila Ramchandra Kaviraj Goswami. Now, who are these guys? We'll go in deep later, but I'll just have written down few things over here. Nityananda, what is the first thing in front of Gopal Bhatta Goswami? So he's serving in Nitya Leela or in Vrindavan Dham in the spiritual abode of Krishna as Ananga Manjari. And I have also heard in few scriptures it's Guna Manjari, but most of them says Ananga Manjari. And I heard this from, I'm not the one who's saying this, I heard it from His Grace Mohan Rupa Prabhu. Just want to say that today's lecture is inspired by him. I heard 2 or 3 lectures of him, and I prepared this wonderful quote. Yes, Prabhu?
The author of Chaitanya Bhagavat Vrindavan Das Thakur, one of his poems, he says that Lord Nityananda, he serves Krishna as Balram and Radharani as Ananga Manjari.
No, Ananga Manjari is sister of Radharani.
Yeah.
So
Lord Nityananda.
Radharani serves, I'm not sure how it works, but actually Prabhu was mentioning this. Probably I can get back to you after the lecture because I have a lot of stuff to talk about. And then, yeah, Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami is one of the major associates of Mahaprabhu. And out of all the Goswamis, he has spent most of time with Mahaprabhu. How? We'll discuss it later. But this was kind of like quick overview. And coming to Srila Ramchandra Kaviraj Goswami, he is Karan Manjari. And Prabhu was mentioning in one book, he also read Karuna Manjari. Well, Karan Manjari in most of the books. And he is a very dear associate of Narottam Das Thakur. Narottam Das Thakur even mentioned his name in one bhajan. Does anybody remember? Ramachandra Sange Mange Narottam Das. We read it, we recite this bhajan a lot of times. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More, right? So he's saying this. Now, let's go a little more about them and know how about them. It's the disappearance day of our acharyas, and it is actually a standard that whenever, if actually we should know about them, we should read about them a lot of times, like probably every day. Not everyone, but some acharya. But when it's their disappearance or appearance day, or in Hindi we say Tirobhav or Abhirbhav Divas, then we should definitely just remember them. So with that, I'll start with Srila Ramchandra Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj ki. So he was born in Srikhand. Now we have a Srikhand in Gujarat too, and in Bengal, which we eat, right? It's not that Srikhand. It's a place, I think, what is Paschim in Hindi? In English? West. So it's from West, obviously. Like, it's a state in West. Now, and from this state, we have got a lot of our acharyas. Does anybody know who else is from Srikhand? Srila Narhari Chakrabarti Thakur. He was also born in this place. Not just that, but one of our another acharyas, I loved his bhajan a lot. Akaroda Paramananda Nityananda Ram. Ajamala Prabhu was just singing it this Thursday. So who read that bhajan? Who wrote that bhajan?
Who wrote that bhajan? Lochan Das Thakur.
Lochan Das Thakur. Lochan kahe yehi papi yelo or gelo. In the last line it says. So Lochan Das Thakur was also from Srikhand. And yeah, obviously Srila Ramchandra Kaviraj Goswami, or if I say Karan Manjari, now their samadhi is at Dheer Samir. In some bhajan we heard about Dheer Samir. Which bhajan we heard about Dheer Samir? Nirmal Haldar Prabhu was speaking the other day. He was singing this bhajan, Radha Kunja Tata Kunda Kutir. We all were present here. So in that bhajan, Bhakti Vinod Thakur is showing his ecstasy a little, and he's saying, Radha, I just want a small hut near Radha Kunda. And I just want to do chanting. And then he states all these wonderful places of Vrindavan that I want to see them every day. So one of them is Dheer Samir. His samadhi is there. Now third point I have written is he was considered to be the best man at that time. Why best man? I mean, not like best man, but he was like, it is mentioned that he was so handsome, he was so strong, he was so enthusiastic, and at the same time he was so famous too. Now imagine if a person is having all these four qualities, plus he is serving Krishna. How wonderful it is. This way he was considered a famous person. And let me check my notes also. Yeah, he was fully, as I mentioned, he was fully absorbed in the service of Krishna, or to be very particular, in the service of Mahaprabhu. And anybody knows who was his spiritual master? His spiritual master was Srinivasacharya. And who was further a disciple of? Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami. So Srinivasacharya is disciple. So in technical sense, they are like spiritual grandfather and spiritual grandson. Gopal Bhatta Goswami is the grandfather. So he was given this title of Kaviraj by Srila Rupa Goswami. No, Srila Jiva Goswami. Oh, I think I wrote by mistake. I wrote it in one day, so sorry. So this was given by Srila Rupa Goswami. No, this was given by Srila Jiva Goswami. Sorry, yeah, Srila Jiva Goswami. We can see here Jiva Goswami, he has given a lot of titles. He has given a lot of titles to a lot of devotees. We can see he has given like Narottam Das Thakur, Srinivas, Acharya, right? And there are 8 Kaviraj total. I don't remember all of their name, but there were 8 Kaviraj in total. And he used to glorify devotees by giving them title. That's what we are supposed to do here. We are here to glorify devotees. Because when we do that, Krishna is more pleased. Now, Kaviraja, if we look for the literal meaning of this word, means Kavi means Kavita, or what should say, poet, and Raja, who is like really not this Raja, but who is really nice in writing poets. But at that time, Kavi Rajas, people used to say Vad, or doctors. Doctors were given this title, Kavi Raja. Now, I don't know why, but they used to call this. And so there's a theory behind it, why we said Kaviraj, because this material world is a disease. Birth, old age, that disease, Janam, Mrityu, Zara, Vyadhi, right? We are trying to escape from it. And who is our greatest merciful Lord? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He appeared in this world. And I wrote it in my notes that because everyone is super sick in this material world, Mahaprabhu is the only medicine who is giving us the Krishna Prema, right? He's a flood of Krishna Prema. And these Goswamis, they are Kaviraj because they are giving us the way to reach out to Mahaprabhu. But still, Ramachandra Kaviraj Goswami, he's so humble. What he's saying Mahaprabhu is that flood, and whoever comes in under a flood, even if he's a Shudra, even if he's a Vaishya, Brahmana, or from any Varnashrama Dharma, they all get caught up by that flood. That is the mercy. But my question is, when flood comes, floods takes first, actually it's not a question, it's just a normal thing. Floods take first, whose house is the lower, on the lower level, right? So that's why we say we have to be more humble than a blade of grass to get the mercy of Mahaprabhu first. Because the ones who are going to stay on the higher levels, or let's say second floor and then third, fourth, fifth, 15th, 100th floor buildings today we have, they're going to get the mercy late. Not saying like stop living in the higher buildings or something, but we have to be more. We can get back to it later. Yeah. So they can get the mercy soon because they are living at the lower level, right? Now he's saying that although Mahaprabhu is merciful and everyone is going to get his mercy, I am so unfortunate that I am not even able to taste that drop of blood, right? We just read it today actually. Drop of nectar. Yeah, sorry, there's a next story, I think, which I'm probably going to skip about, but drop of that nectar. We just read it today in Sikshashkam, second verse. Durveva midrishami. Sorry. How does that start? Nam namakari bahudanij sarva shaktish tatra pita niyamita smaranena kala etadashi tav kripa bhagavan mamapi durvevam midrisham ihajani nanuraga. He's saying, Lord, you have placed everything in your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. Right? We read it. It's nice to remember these verses though. We're going to read it every day. And this is called as Shikshashakam for those who don't know. And these are the 8 major teachings of Mahaprabhu. So it's nice to remember these things. And, well, we were talking about Jiva Goswami. Actually, Jiva Goswami was the one who told Srivasacharya to get initiation from Gopal Bhatta Goswami. And as I mentioned, he was a wonderful, wonderful friend of Narottam Das Thakur. Now, Narottam Das Thakur is also a disciple of Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami. So in this way, actually, they are kind of spiritual brother, not spiritual brother, but spiritual father or son, like this, spiritual master. But we see there are a lot, even today, there are a lot of cases where a person, because let's say you have a spiritual master and his god brother, you should also consider him as spiritual master, right? Equal to your spiritual master. But Vaishnavas are so humble that they can make friends too. So Srila, basically, he looked at Narottam Das Thakur always as in a vision of a spiritual master. But he was so merciful, Narottam Das Thakur. He was so humble that he always looked him as a friend. We can find the same cases a lot of times even in today's world, right? I'm sorry if I have confused you. Yeah, what's the thing?
What do you mean by this? Like, we also should consider the God brother as spiritual master?
We should consider the god brother of the spiritual master. God brother of your spiritual master. Let's say there are a lot of Prabhupada disciples. So it's not... Huh? No. So not my god brother as my spiritual master. My spiritual master's god brother. Right? Let's say I'm initiated from His Holiness Bhakti Maharaj Swami, right? So His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj or all the Prabhupada disciples, they are like my spiritual master. Right? Even Dharmapuran Prabhu here, he's like my spiritual master. I should follow him. Whatever he says, his instruction I have to follow, I must follow. I should respect him as my spiritual master. Right, Prabhu? Yeah. With that I would like to come towards my favorite Goswami out of all the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan is Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Now, whatever I'm about to say is from these 4 things. So first is, oh Krishna.
Again, got started.
Yeah.
Okay. You keep talking. I'll try to fix it.
So first thing is written by Murari Gupta. Actually, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, you have seen, he has written what? Chaitanya Charitamrita. And if we see, there are a lot of descriptions of wonderful Goswamis, and he says that I see all of the Goswamis as my mentor or as my Shiksha Guru. But we can find that there are a lot of things described for other Goswamis, but for Gopal Bhatta Goswami, there are really less things. Now, why is that? Well, Narahari Chakrabarti Thakur said that Gopal Bhatta Goswami actually stopped Krishnadas Kaviraj Prabhu to glorify him in Chaitanya Charitamrita. He showed up in his dreams. I think there were two Goswamis. I forgot who was the other one. But Lochandas Thakur? Oh, okay. So Lochandas Thakur and Gopal Bhatta Goswami appeared in his dream, Krishnadas Kaviraj. And he's saying, please don't glorify us. Why? Because it's a mood of devotees. We don't want ourselves to be glorified, but we want the senior Vaishnava or any devotee sitting in front of us to be glorified. This is the mood. And then, And then these are a few scriptures, for example, by Murari Gupta. This is Chaitanya Charit Mahakavya. This was the first ever text written on Mahaprabhu. And it was written by Murari Gupta. So there are mentions of Gopal Bhatta Goswami in this. And then also in Anuraga Balli by Manohar Das Thakur. And then Karunananda Ram by Yadunandan Acharya and Prema Vilas by Narottam Das Thakur. So we can find the evidence, or I'll say ecstasy of Gopal Bhatta Goswami in these 4 scriptures. Well, there might be more, but I know about these. Now, Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami was born in the year 1500 in Belaguri village. Now, this Belaguri village is again near to that Sri Rangam. So, most of our acharyas are actually from west, if you see. Right? And, sorry, what is Paschim?
Paschim is west.
So, it's west.
But,
No, from south. South. South.
but
Okay, yeah. No, thanks for correcting me. Here it is south. I don't know why I mixed up in this presentation. And then they were all Sri Vaishnavas. So there are different four sampradayas basically, for which Vishnu has given his knowledge, or Krishna has given his knowledge. So one of them is Sri. It is a bona fide sampradaya, and he was born in that house near the banks of Kaveri, as I said in Srirangam, to Venkat Bhatta. Not Venkatesh, Venkat Bhatta. Now Venkat Bhatta, he was obviously a Sri Vaishnava, and there were 3 brothers. So I forgot the order. I think this was the biggest one, oldest, and then he was the middle one, obviously, for sure. And then we had Prabodh Bhatta. So Tirumal Bhatt, Venkat Bhatt, and Prabodh Bhatt. After them, Venkat Bhatta was the father of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. And Prabodh Bhatta, he later studied scriptures, took association of devotees, and became Prabodhananda Saraswati. Yeah. And Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami, and then this is Venkat Bhatta.
Venkat Bhatta's son is Gopal Bhatta.
And these are all brothers.
Yeah. So now Gopal Bhatta Goswami was really inclined to Kirtan and Ratan. Just remind these 2 words. Shivas Acharya also write one bhajan mentioning these 2 words on 6 Goswamis. What is that bhajan? You listen to that a lot. Krishna ta kirtan ganan natana paro premamritam vanidhi. This is Shat Goswami Ashkam. Trust me, when you listen it in Prabhupada's voice, it hits your heart like nectarial arrows or something. Yeah. So, yes, Prabhu.
I didn't understand this. Tirumala Bhatta, I understand that Gopal.
So these are three brothers, right? So they are brothers. This is the father of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Why I mention this? Because Prabodh Bhatta is another acharya, wonderful acharya. He later became Prabodhananda Saraswati. So these were 3 acharyas. Now, he was from childhood, he was really Gopal Bhatta Goswami inclined towards Kirtan and dancing. That's why we see in Radharaman temple, there are special things. They do kirtan, obviously, but there are special dancers who come and dance for, because this was the mood of our acharyas. But if you notice, we have a special guest today. Radha Raman ki. Yeah. So once he went, sorry about my typo errors. He went to Puri with his father. And what happened to him? After having darshan of Jagannath, he came in ecstasy. Romanchakampa Shutaranga Bhajo. Right? So in that ecstasy, he started dancing, crying, and he fainted. And at that time, Venkat Bhatt came to know that, yeah, this guy is not for this material world. My son is something really good. Oh, Krishna. Okay. So now I'll start with the story again. Now, this is the time when Mahaprabhu, he took sannyas in 1510. Right? Now in 1510 he took sannyas, and the very next year, after visiting Puri, he went to his place. Which is his place? Srikhand. Gopal Bhatta Goswami's place. Now when they went to Srikhand, actually when he was at Jagannath Puri, Venkat Bhatt was also there, and he saw Mahaprabhu dancing in ecstasy, crying, and watching all these ecstatic moves. He felt so happy. And later when he came to know that Mahaprabhu is visiting him, he felt extremely happy. And he ended up inviting Mahaprabhu to his home. Now young Gopal Bhatta Goswami was also there at his home. Mahaprabhu humbly accepted that time, because sannyasi is supposed to go home to home, right, to preach. Now Gopal Bhatta Goswami was just 11 years old at that time, and he started serving Mahaprabhu. As soon as Mahaprabhu came, everyone attended him properly, they washed their feet, and then everyone had Charnamrita. After having that Charnamrita, now the Mahaprabhu is not an ordinary person. Everyone went ecstatic, and they said the whole night they were just dancing and doing Krishna Kirtan. Out of which, after that, Venkat Bhatta, now he got really inspired, and he was loving this taste of ecstasy. So he humbly requested Mahaprabhu that, Mahaprabhu, can you please stay here for 4 months? Now, these 4 months that was the time of Chaturmas. So in Chaturmas, it's rainy season, right? And at that time, it was not like just the clouds, they are coming, they smiled and they went away. It was good rain. And there were not that good roads. It was like the whole muddy roads. So sannyasis were allowed to stay at some place, at one place only, so that they can focus on their bhajan. This was allowed at that time. Obviously, people at that time, they used to do a lot of yagya, so they never had this problem of rain, like it's coming not in season or not proper rain is coming. So because of yagya, this is the power of yagya, and we are doing Harinam Sankirtan Mahayagya. Right? So all the demigods are happy with us. So he was allowed. Now at that time, Mahaprabhu will wake up early, he'll chant his round, but first he'll take a dip in Kaveri river. And small Gopal Bhatta also renders small service unto him. He was becoming more and more enthusiastic to listen to the classes of Mahaprabhu, like how Mahaprabhu is preaching. Even it's mentioned that once Mahaprabhu took Gopal Bhatta Goswami in his lap, right? Now, after watching that, Venkat Bhatta, he felt so happy that Mahaprabhu is having. What he did is, he immediately offered Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Gopal Bhatta to Mahaprabhu. Not like today's parents, oh, my son has started going to ISKCON, now he'll become a brahmachari, he will not talk to me, he will not talk to any girl, not get married. He immediately offered Gopal Bhatta, right? Now, Gopal Bhatta, while rendering services, he was hearing pastimes of Mahaprabhu too from other devotees. He had this mood to see Mahaprabhu in his Gaur mood, or Gaur Rupa, or in Nimaya Rupa, Sachinanda Rupa. He was actually, it is mentioned that he was chastising Brahma. Like how gopis chastise Brahma, why you meet these eyelids? He was chastising Brahma. Why I took birth so late? I wanted to see that form. And Mohan Rupa Prabhu also mentioned that we as devotees of ISKCON, we prefer to see Mahaprabhu only, we don't prefer to see Mahaprabhu in sannyas vesha, because he's Krishna to us. He's not just a devotee to us. So we prefer to see him in his Nimaya form or in his Sachidananda form. So same thing was him. He wanted to see, he was chastising Brahma. Yes, Prabhu.
That's why we also worship him in his Nimai form only, not
Yeah.
in his sannyas form.
Yeah. And he was saying, chastising, oh, this Krishna, this cowherd boy who do a lot of Leela, what you did to him? He's a sannyasi. And he used to cry. So one day what happened is, he started having Leela Smriti in his dream. So first, Mahaprabhu came and he's watching Mahaprabhu in Nimai and he's getting so ecstatic. As soon as his dream ended, he felt so sad. But then he opened his eyes and see Mahaprabhu standing in front of him in his Nitai form. Sorry, Nimai form, yeah. He stood up from the bed, offered obeisances to Mahaprabhu. And then as soon as he got up, he saw, oh, Krishna. He saw the same Mahaprabhu as a cowherd boy, as Krishna. This was all a Leela of Mahaprabhu. And then, now he felt more ecstatic. Now he paid the obeisances again. As soon as he got up, then he said, oh, again sannyasi form. So this was the mood of our Gopal Bhatta Goswami. So this is what happened. Now, days are going like this. He's hearing, Gopal Bhatta Goswami is hearing lectures from his father as well as Mahaprabhu. Now, Venkat Bhatta and Mahaprabhu, they had really, don't look at the second question for now. Okay, it's stuck again. Krishna. Okay, no need to display, don't worry. Now, what happens is Venkat Bhatta and Mahaprabhu had this really loving exchanges. They used to ask questions a lot. Now, Venkat Bhatta, he was a which Vaishnava? Shri Vaishnava. So in Shri Vaishnava, they worship Lakshmi Narayan more. So he was asking, why is Lakshmi ji worshipping Krishna for a longer time? And still she's not getting part in Krishna's Leela. There is a one mention, I think, if I wrote the one, I don't know. But why is this happening? Gopis also did the same kind of tapasya. They get Krishna. Why? Lakshmi ji, she's still doing the tapasya. She's not getting the entry in Krishna Leela. Why? Anybody have an answer? Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, I think like she came in the form of Rukmani Devi.
No, yes, that is true. But see, she herself was unable to. She still said, I forgot the name, I wrote the Vana. So she's still meditating. Scriptures explain. Yes, Prabhu.
Because they don't have mercy, like she doesn't have mercy of Mahaprabhu.
Yeah, that's true. But there is one major thing which Mahaprabhu mentioned is, because Mahaprabhu won't say that she doesn't have my mercy. Mahaprabhu said, she is not surrendered to the devotees of Braja. She has Aishwarya mode, and we cannot worship Krishna with Aishwarya mode. Aishwarya mode, not in the sense that she wants to worship Krishna. She has that, I am Lakshmi, I should be worshipped. With that mode, without surrendering onto the lotus feet of Braja Gopis, she's thinking that Braja Gopis should worship me. But if she starts thinking that I should start worshipping the lotus feet of Brajavasis, hearing from them, then she will get the entry. That's what the answer Mahaprabhu gave. Now, Prabhupada, when he was saying this thing, a lot of devotees asked, Prabhupada, well, if we have to follow Braja Bhava, as you mentioned, how do we differentiate whom to follow and whom not to follow? Because there are a lot of sadhus or babajis who are good in Braja and a lot who are just false. What to do? Any guesses what Prabhupada said? He said, I am a Brajvasi, follow me. Srila Prabhupada ki. Right? Yeah, we are almost done. So I'll just quickly, basically I wanted to show you this picture. Now Gopal Bhatta Goswami, now Chaturmas has came to end and Gopal Bhatta Goswami learned a lot of things from Mahaprabhu. And as Mahaprabhu, as the Venkat Bhatta already offered Gopal Bhatta Goswami to Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu just said one thing, that don't get this boy married, because Gopal Bhatta Goswami also wanted to serve Krishna or Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu said, don't worry, your desire will be fulfilled to come to Vrindavan, and you will learn from two scholar disciples of mine, who are Srila Jiva Goswami and Rupa Goswami. So now Gopal Bhatta Goswami, he read a lot, he learned a lot of scriptures, and he became a learned guy. And he started just having small things with Mayavadis and making them, and he was showing them that you guys are false. He started defeating Mayavadis. Now what happened, Gopal Bhatta Goswami is now in the so now he is properly bona fide. He went to Vrindavan because Mahaprabhu came in his dream and told him, first he told him, start your yatra towards Gandaki river. Does anybody know the significance of Gandaki river? So it is said any stone in Gandaki river is Shaligram. People still go, it's in Nepal, and find Shaligrams. So these are Shaligrams. This picture is from Ayendra Prabhu's Shaligram. He had 2,700 of those Shaligrams, actually more than that. So he said, the first Shaligram you will get in that river will appear as Radha Ramana. And we say there is no Radha Rani with Radha Ramana. Still he's standing alone, right? Why? Because it is Mahaprabhu himself. It is Yugal Swarup. So he started going toward Gandaki river. Now while going there, he stayed at the house of one devotee. If I check the name, well, he stayed at the house of one devotee where Madha Prasad Sharma, and he has two sons, Damodar and Govinda. Okay, so these two sons were really inspired by Gopal Bhatta Goswami, and what happened is they were serving him a lot, and they showed their interest to take initiation, and they got their initiation at that time too, well in that area. Now Gopal Bhatta Goswami, after giving them initiation, he continued going towards the Gandaki River. As soon as he went there, he took his first step, and then he put his hand for one stone. The first stone he took up, it was actually Shaligram. Not all the stones are Shaligram, some are stones too. So he took, and it was a Damodar Shaligram, which you can see right over here. How you can tell this is a Damodar Shaligram? Well, you can see this is a rope kind of structured in it. Rope. Da means rope, right? So this is kind of like the marks of a rope. And it is said, I mean, we won't be able to see, but Goswamis explain that Radha Ramana still has that structure at his back to make sure that he's that Shaligram only. So now Gopal Bhatta Goswami find 11 more Shaligrams with him. He started worshipping those Shaligrams. One day, now this story has, most of you might be knowing, that one devotee came and he started selling dresses. Now everyone had their deities. Gopal Bhatta Goswami was really sad. He was like, why should I wear them? I have just Shaligram. And he was praying in ecstasy to Mahaprabhu. And then Krishna, please show up. Because he knew Mahaprabhu is going to appear. And it is said it was the Narsimha Chaturdashi, which we do. And Vaishakha Purnima, Narsimha Chaturdashi. That night, he cried a lot. The whole night, he never slept. Just cried the whole night. Prabhu, you can come from this pillar. Why can't you come from this Shaligram? So they say he hanged his 12 Shaligrams on a tree in his special box. And then he went to take a shower and I think take a dip in Yamuna. After coming, he saw that one Shaligram. He appeared as Shri Shri Radha Raman ki. And then he got so ecstatic. And then that devotee who was selling actually dresses, he came back next year and he gave a lot of dresses for Radha Ramana, all his dresses. And even still, most of you might have seen the mukuts of Radha Ramana. It's a little tilted. They use the same mukuts. Dresses are changed every day. But the mukuts that are used the same. Mukut is crown basically.
So there are same that man gifted to...
Yeah, they still use the same one. And these two disciples, which I mentioned, Damodar and Gopinath, they were also such a wonderful. I'll just end my class with this last thing. They were such a wonderful and serious devotee and wanted to take sannyas. But Krishna consciousness is not just about taking sannyas. We actually ask people to live a grihastha life and preach out to other peoples, right? So Gopal Bhatt Goswami himself requested Damodar and Gopinath. Our Gopinath, yeah. It's easy to remember. So please become a grihastha. Gopinath, at first both of them hesitated, and later Damodar, he agreed to get married. Why it was necessary? Because it's so hard for a sannyasi to take care of a deity. They have to travel. They cannot continue stay at one place for a longer time, right? So now Damodar, he had his wife, and then now we can see his whole descendants. We have a lot of wonderful devotees who are serving Radha Ramana in his temple. We have around 40 families now. I was fortunate enough to get a picture of Radha Ramana from one of the descendants. His name is Pundrik Goswami. Recently he had a meeting with Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Just to let you know, Srila Prabhupada always encouraged us. He never said not to go to Radha Ramana. And Devanshi Prabhu was mentioning, when we first came to this world, like when devotees first came to Vrindavan, nobody was accepting them. They're like, they are foreigners, their things are not good, they are eating meat. So first, Radha Ramana temple, obviously it's Gopal Bhatt Goswami, right? So they mercifully accepted all the Vaishnavas. And then Prabhupada actually taught us that we should learn our standards of deity worshipping from Radha Ramana. So with that, I would like to end. If you have any questions, reflections, feedback, realizations. I'm sorry, I went a little over time. I still have a lot of things to say. But yeah. Okay then. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa